assists against Manchester, not enough to force him into the team tonight. I think that selection might surprise a few.
Well, I think it does. I know it surprised me when I heard what was going on. You know, you're leaving nearly a 30-goal scorer out of the lineup, and in the playoffs, it's a two-legged opportunity to score goals, and that's it. So tough decisions for coaches when they have extra players, and we'll see if the decisions are made right for the coaches and the players.
One player who has thrived with a little bit of a line change is Eric Neely. 5 goals last weekend. It was during the third period of the game against Fife. He moved up to a line alongside Fretter and Westerling, and he set up Colton Fretter's game winner. And then he scored 5 goals over the next 2 games. They're going to be the nominal second line tonight. Valdix, Dowd and Nelson stay together as a unit, and Yamtin and Wah are going to combine with John Armstrong, 3 players that the Steelers have been without in recent weeks. The fourth line will be Phillips, Shudra and Fitzgerald, although Fitzgerald can of course slot back in and play as a 7th D if the situation arises. Irvins Mustakovs will be back in goal for the Steelers. Brad Day has had a good run, picking up 3 victories, but it will be Mustakovs who gets the start for the Steelers tonight. So all the mascots will lead out the Sheffield Steelers onto the ice. For the final time this season, this is the Sheffield Steelers' 40th home game. League, Cup, playoffs and pre-season included. It's been a long season and the Steelers will be hoping that they'll still be in action next weekend. They are the reigning playoff champions. They've also had quite a few little upsets in quarterfinals over recent years. Plenty of players on this team have experienced the highs and the lows. There are also some imports who are experiencing this for the first time. I think Eric Neely is one who's playing in his first playoffs as a pro. And whilst the playoffs have a slightly different feel here than they do in North America, everybody is up for the cup this time. Both teams are in the playoff shirts. From a commentator's point of view, we love to see the nice big clear numbers on the back. And the largest ovation of the night so far for the returning Matthew Wah. Steelers have paired these playoff shirts with the blue Challenge Cup socks. Steelers intro does still take a while to get through. Still quite a few players still to come out. So we will keep you up to date with the score from Fife against Manchester. The 2 quarterfinals that have already taken place from last night. It finished in Belfast. Belfast 4, Nottingham 3. So the Giants have a 1-goal advantage to take to the NIC tomorrow. And the other game was at the Sky Dome. Coventry took the lead, but Cardiff came back to win 4-2. And the league champions with a 2-goal lead will certainly be huge favourites to progress as they seek their first playoff title in 19 years. But that second leg in Nottingham looks superbly set up.
It does, doesn't it? We were talking before and saying if Nottingham maybe had 5 more minutes, they would have been the ones coming home with the victory. So, again, as you said, you know, playoff upsets do happen, but again, you look at what's going on here, and to be fair, the way a lot of the teams have played against each other all season, I don't know if there are upsets. I mean, Cardiff is obviously the clear winners out on the top of the league and everything like that, but you look how well Manchester's come on, you look at what Belfast can do and put together, you look what Nottingham can do when they will put it together, Sheffield, Guildford, Fife, go down the whole roster, Coventry, what they did to get themselves into the playoff picture as well. So, at the minute, you got 8 teams within a couple of goals of each other that can happen to any of the top teams and any of the teams. It could be end up with Fife and Coventry and a couple others in the playoff finals. Just depends on the night. And like I said, if your goal scorers don't score on their opportunities and you create so much possession that you give one up going the other way, you're never going to win anything.
Sheffield finished in 3rd position in the league on 71 points. Guildford finished in 6th position with 69 points, just 2 behind the Steelers. Guildford had the league's second best home record. They weren't quite so good on the road, 10 wins and 18 losses all told on the road. I feel that the Steelers' task is going to be a lot tougher tomorrow night. Steelers have been pretty good at home this season, and they have won both games here against the Flames. So we got the pre-match ceremonial puck drop before we can get the national anthem, and then this game started. We'll try and bring you all the key replays from this game during the action. If you do miss any of the play tonight, we'll put the goals on Facebook tonight, the full highlights on YouTube tomorrow, and the game download will be available for all webcast viewers. Log back into the Steelers TV Live website over the next couple of days, and it'll be available in your archive to watch in full again, along with any other games you've purchased from us in the past. And the Brian chants have started already. They followed him from Coventry down to Guildford. Not sure how really off-putting it is. You hear it all the time as a netminder. Surely that's not going to get into his head.
No, you get used to it, don't you? To me, it just winds you up even more and gets you playing that much better. It was always great going into Nottingham and hearing all that sort of stuff and all the abuse you used to get out of them. All it did was make you want to win more.
There's certainly an extra special buzz around the rink tonight. It does have that playoff feel. There's a little bit more intensity than usual. Referees for tonight's game, Mike Hicks and Chris Wells are the referees. The linesmen are Lee Young and Danny Beresford. So the players are lining up on their blue lines, and we are now going to take a short pause because it's time for the playing of the national anthem. Brad Day's 3 straight wins and an Irvins Mustakov shutout have helped the Steelers to a 4-game winning streak and a 3rd place finish in the Elite League, where their reward is a playoff quarter-final against Guildford. Matthew Wire and Andreas Yamtin return to the lineup. Tim Wallace and Matt Marquardt make way, whilst Kieran Brown and Liam Kirk are on GB under-18s duty. The Flames are without Liam Stewart, Ian Waters and Richard Crowe, and Brian Stewart gets the nod over Chris Carozzi in goal. Nothing can be decided for sure tonight, and as the Steelers know only too well from both perspectives, no first leg lead is ever safe enough. But Sheffield are the reigning playoff champions, and they're in no mood to give up that title. Steelers in orange, Flames in white. 2 legs, and the aggregate score will decide who plays in the final 4 at the Motorpoint Arena in Nottingham next Saturday and Sunday. The Guildford Flames have made a big impression, and a very positive one at that, in their debut Elite League season. Going into the final weekend, they could have finished as high as 3rd. They ended up in 6th. They'll fancy their chances tonight. There are quite a few people around the league picking this as a potential upset, if the league standings and seedings are to be believed. You only have to look at what Hull and Coventry have done to Sheffield in recent years. There can be nerves amongst this fan base come playoff time, but the Steelers are also a team that knows what it takes when it comes to this format. So here we go then, playoff hockey at the Fly DSA Arena. Jonathan Fernley and Ron Shudra here with you. Possession with the Steelers from the opening face-off. And the Steelers are going to go offside here, and they recognise that. Dowd holds things up and then takes the aerial route into the zone. Chasing back onto it is Jadolowski, and he takes the hit. Always an extra intensity and physicality when it comes to the playoffs. Steelers moving the puck side to side, sending it towards the goal, and it's cleared away well by Ferguson. And then Ferguson will carry on. He knocked it past David Phillips, trying to send it across. He gets right past everything, and the Steelers will counter. Got a 3-on-2 developing here. They'll snap it on goal, and it's deflected away off the legs of Craig. Nelson, again, Craig intercepts once more. Feeds the pass forward, that doesn't find its target, and it will cost the Flames icing. And what an intense start already.
Well, it's what you're going to have, I think, for most of this game. You know, Guildford like to play fast and quick and up and down. A couple of good opportunities for body contact already in Guildford's zone, which Sheffield took advantage of. A little bit unfortunate on a shot that came from the blue line that Robbie Dowd doesn't get a deflection on, but Guildford are so quick to transition, you've got to be careful. And one of the keys, like you said, was keep 3 men above the puck. And that's what Sheffield's going to have to do to be successful.
Flames play the puck out of the zone. Neely, scorer of 5 goals last weekend, gets his first touch. Frette, the scorer of the game winner, up in Fife. Pressure on behind the goal, and sending it around is Reddick. Doesn't get out of the zone though. Shooting chance, and again there's Flames bodies in the way. They've not been able to get one through to Stewart so far. Maybe Frette can on the wraparound. It bounces straight through the slot. Matheson almost let the puck get a little too far away from him. Not allowed a Flames stick onto it. Frette will try and trap it over on the far side. Flames have bodies there. Reddick is one of them. And the pass across is taken in by Lundin. It's not very adventurous, and the Steelers are going to be caught offside. They didn't quite clear the zone quickly enough over on the left wing.
Yeah, just not turned it around enough. Matheson just takes it in a bit early. Doesn't give the opportunities for the forwards to clear the zone. A little bit too quick of transition from Sheffield there. Should have took it back a little bit more, allowed that time and space, but Matheson has a chance to shoot the puck at the blue line. He doesn't, and as you say, it rolls off the end of his stick. Key today, you got guys in front of the net. You got to hammer pucks at this netminder. You got to put them through the defensemen who are trying to block them, and you've just got to crash that net hard every time there's a rebound anywhere near that crease.
Armstrong wins the draw. Played his first 2 games since returning from that long injury spell on the sidelines last weekend. Questions about whether he's fully up to match speed. The game against Edinburgh was, well, a training run at best, not really the sort of intense workout he would have been hoping for. Different story in Manchester the following night. Steelers picking up a good 5-2 win with Brad Day getting the start. Still waiting for the first shot on either netminder, and another icing call against the Flames, but after a short shift that won't be too costly. We will gain the Steelers a zone or two.
Sorry, you can't see what they're trying to do. You can see Guildford trying to stretch the wingers out between the blue line and center ice to try to put one pass past Sheffield's forecheck. Sheffield have to be relentless, but if there's possession behind the net, they have to lock up and not allow anything to get through the seams. And Sheffield's D have to do a good job standing up as well. They've got to be prepared to stand up and get the puck chipped behind them, and then the opposite defense has got to go back for that puck hard and try and find some way to get out of that zone quickly.
Rashinsky wins the draw against Armstrong this time. Steelers try and send it goalwards again. There are skates in the road. Davis, nice pass out, taken in by Wells. Wells driving to the outside on Francilla. Francilla recovers well. Uses his stick, but the Flames are persistent. They've got it back behind the goal. Can they find a killer pass? And they get room for a shot again. It's into the crowd, not all the way through to Mustakovs. Davis sees the puck poke from his stick. He'll collect it over on the far side. It's turned inside to nobody, and Armstrong can feed it forward. It gets a touch. The chase is on, but Stewart feels the need to cover up with Matthew Waugh closing in.
Yeah, a little bit hit and miss so far with the amount of icings and offsides and things that are going on, but it's giving everybody a chance to get in the game as well. You're getting all the lines rolled through here in the first sort of 2.5 minutes, so it's what both teams want to do. They want to get everybody on the ice, and they want to get everybody a little bit of playing time to get those nerves out.
Ferguson with the face-off win. Lifted out of the zone by Campbell. Steelers have got 2 against 1 over on the far side. It's O'Connor moving it around, and here's Shudra. First outing of the night for the Steelers' fourth line. Fitzgerald forces his way through. Jadlowski. Flames keep the puck moving. Long stretch pass. Not taken in on the spin by Campbell, and they're going to get another icing call. And inside 3 minutes, well, just over 3 minutes, in fact, that's 3 of them that have gone against the Flames. Looking for that home run pass, and they've not hit it yet.
Well, they're not, you know, they've obviously got a ton of confidence in their defensive positioning and their netminder to give up lots of opportunities for icings and things like that. So, you know what, it's not a bad play if you're not getting caught on it, but if you finally do get caught on it, you know, you've got to pay. But that home run pass can happen, and that's that transition that you don't want to give up by having too many guys below the puck.
Ferguson driving forward, and he tried to play the pass across towards Walker, and it was well intercepted by the Steelers. The crowd appreciate the defensive play. Quickly turned into attack with Nelson looking for the support from D. Nudged on by Rundberg, played away by Jesse Craig. Matheson spins, thought about a shot, decided against it, but gets past Nelson. Dowd putting pressure on. Nelson trying to retrieve it, he does so. They'll play it back up the boards. Matheson, Valdix lets it run. Flames have managed that calmly behind the goal. They're going to try and get it out down the far side, and they will do so. Lidhammer tried to knock it down, didn't manage it first time. Second time around he gets it across, and hammered on goal by Reddick. Mustakovs was across to it. First shot on goal against Mustakovs. His last appearance was that shutout win in Fife. Steelers play it forward, and they're going to be called offside. And Dowd with a little bit of a push and shove with Dunbar, who doesn't seem as interested in that as Robert Dowd does.
Well, that's a nice little trade-off, isn't it, to be fair? You know, you're looking at 2 of the top guys that are out there that are going to throw some offense on both teams. So a little tit for tat on those 2. They're going to be loving that intensity, and that's what you want. You want to have it, but you don't want to get caught for that extra one that'll put you shorthanded.
Just the 90 points this season for John Dunbar.
Yeah, so it's not a bad trade-off, is it, between him and Dowdy, to be fair? Like, as I said, 2 offensive guys that can put the puck in the net.
Ben O'Connor with 65 is the Steelers' top point scorer this season, 19 goals and 46 assists. We believe that's the first time a Sheffield Steelers defenseman has led the team in scoring. Also worth noting that Mark Matheson is second in those stats for the Steelers. We will point out that the Steelers have had a lot of injuries amongst their forwards who might otherwise have topped the standings. Still a remarkable achievement for 2 Steelers D-men to be 1 and 2. Here's Fretter. Bringing it out front, the angle is tight. He gets the shot in, a penalty is being called here. And it's going to be a Steelers power play, and it's Fretter who made it. Coming out from behind the goal line. Stewart doesn't look impressed. Well, the penalty has been called. And it looks as though it's been called against Rashinsky, is it? Indeed it is. He's heading for the box and a sit down. And the Steelers power play will get their first outing of the night.
Excellent work there by Colton Fretter. You can see just how dogged he was there, trying to get himself to the net, and does a great job. And Stewart has to come up big, not only on the first shot, but he has to track the puck for the second and get that opportunity to get the whistle back for Guildford to clear the zone.
Hooking is confirmed as the call. The Steelers have possession. Power play this season is at 23%, just over. Clearing attempt gets all the way down from Akron. Steelers switching it to the right wing side, and Eric Neely. Drop back for Waugh. Waugh wants to get himself in towards the slot. He does so now. Fretter goes across. Westerling back to the blue line. Fretter. Neely's providing a screen as well. The shot is straight into the legs. Lundin found himself in the way of that one. was the option down low. Neely's the screen. There's the deflection, and it nearly found home. Westerling. Good poke from Reddick, just got his stick to that to tip it out of the zone. Steelers might want to think about a line change here. They've been out for a minute or so. Indeed, they are going to swap as the puck will be carried out of the defensive zone. O'Connor sends it across, but it only finds the stick of Craig, who sends it all the way down. "30 seconds left on the Steelers' man advantage. Trying to work their way through neutral ice. They'll find a way in down the right wing. Nelson sees himself cut off on the boards. Helped on its way by Kevin Phillips, and it will get past the point man. And this penalty is being well killed by the Guildford Flames. Steelers enter the zone in the final few seconds of man advantage. Backhanded around, that takes an awkward kick off the boards. Campbell will feed it forward. Nice bounce pass off the boards to Ferguson. Rashinsky's inside. Ferguson, Rashinsky angles tight and must across, slid across, and then he makes another block on another centering feed. And the counter attack from Guildford, they've been trying to hit home with it, and it nearly worked. Stewart with a big swing of the stick and a pass forward. It gets the Flames into the offensive zone, but the Steelers intercept again, and they'll drive forward once more. Running out of room on the boards, Jonathan Phillips trying to knock it away from Campbell. Steelers retain possession but lose the zone. Phillips trying to turn it inside, taken on. And a slap shot that takes a big deflection and loops and lands on the near side. A few players took a while to locate where that one was actually ending up. Looking up into the stands and towards the netting, but does stay in play. And now it's Guildford's turn to go offside.
Well, you just saw there, we were talking about possession before. Sheffield having a little bit of possession there. You look at what they've done, and it was a good opportunity for them here. We'll see a couple of good opportunities coming up quickly here. Good chance here, just a bit of a block shot coming up here if this is the one that Freder does. Good job by the Guildford defenseman there. You can see him. And then a 2-on-1 with all that possession down there, and just about gets back, but a great back check there by the Sheffield forward to get himself in position to break that play up.
Westerling forward with purpose. Neely. Fretter. This is a line that's been good for the Steelers over the last 2 and a bit games. Tied up in the corner, and the Flames are doing a good job deep in their own zone so far in this one. They've won a lot of pucks back against the end wall. This one's sent forward. Icing is waved off as Craig gets to the puck. He drops it back for Lundin. Penalty being called against the Steelers here. Stewart has gone for the extra skater. 6-on-5 in the Flames' favour. Jesse Craig. He scored! Long shot. Beats Mustakov's. And on the delayed penalty, we have ourselves an opening goal.
Yeah, it looks as though one of the Guildford players in front of that may get a deflection on this, as Craig drags it across the blue line and gets a good hard wrist shot away. We'll see it right here if they do get a touch in front, or if that just beats Mustakov's. There's the deflection right there. It is a great deflection there in front of the net, as it's Wells that gets it, but you just go back to the penalty there. I don't know how a back referee could call a penalty when the play was in front of the head referee, right in front of the front guy, but an interesting call there if he was going to call an interference or anything when the puck goes right past the guy. But at the end of the day, Guildford have done exactly what they want to do. They've had some pressure against them. Sheffield don't score, and Guildford come back and get the lead.
Second of the season for Charles Wells. The assist going to Craig and Ferguson. So it was David Phillips who was going to take an interference minor. And the Steelers trying to answer back right away. Real scramble in the corner. Lots of players digging at this. The Flames trying to hold it in. The Steelers trying to get it out of there. It's Davis who's doing the most of the work, trying to hold it up, and a lot of work with his skates. He's kicked it free. The board play of the Flames has been really good so far. And look at that. Oh, he didn't get it quite free in the end. I thought he was going to. Out into the slot. Oh, and put just wide. There was a chance for Matthew Waugh, and his shot was off target. Puck slides around the boards. It's picked up by Armstrong. Steelers wanting to get themselves level right away. That shot takes a deflection. Waugh tries the wraparound. Stewart stops it with his legs, and then it's sent across the crease, and Davis can skate it free and relieve the pressure. Romberg sends it back down the boards.
Good shift there after a goal scored to get that opportunity to back, give yourself the chance to get back in the game quickly, and Sheffield almost took advantage of it.
Steelers intercept, and Nelson will come through the neutral zone. He'll move it across, and Stewart makes his first good save up high. It denied Valdix, and the Steelers' puck movement was quick. And it's their best look on goal so far. Referee taking a tumble behind the play. Dowd in with the hit. And Walker plays the puck, not out of the zone. Steelers are starting to turn up the intensity. Can they work the puck into a dangerous area? Well, not on this shift. It doesn't look like it. And here comes Campbell. Trying to feed it across. It beats everyone and goes to the far side. The Steelers just slowing things down past the halfway points of this first period. Flames leading by 1-0. Steelers chop the puck in. Stewart settles it down for his D-man. Craig sees his pass blocked by Dowd. Phillips. Fitzgerald touching on. Fighting onto it is Dowd. Fitzgerald's pass takes a deflection, and that'll go past Ben O'Connor and all the way down the ice. And they're going to call that one icing. And we'll get the Steelers back into the offensive zone. I think Paul Thompson will be pleased with the reaction he's seen from his team following that opening goal.
Well, you know, it's Guildford that's absorbing all the pressure. Sheffield here have had the opportunities. They just haven't had those that final touch. Like we said, a good play here, a couple of great shots and saves. As you see the wraparound coming around here, but big, tall, lanky goalie just gets his pad in the way enough, his toe there to knock that away. But he also does a great blocker save just before that.
Reddick wins the draw against the Steelers captain. And here's John Dunbar. Moving the puck forward, but doesn't get it much beyond the red line. London has it back to try again for Guildford. Pass tipped on. O'Connor will try and reach it first. Does get there ahead of Lidhammer. Phillips. Nice little turn away from trouble. And the backhand pass inside. Nearly gets Shooter onto it. Phillips skating forward. Another pass that goes astray. Goal Shooter again. Off the end boards. Looking for a little bit of support on this near side. Doesn't arrive in time. Guildford again with the cross corner dump. Got to it first. Opportunity now for Raczynski. Round the back of the net. Well, the pass out isn't a good one. The Steelers only too happy to take that one away. Led forward by Shooter. He was the end of his shift. Westerling is spun down. He got 3 in white for company. Nearly trying to win it back. Can't manage it. Nudging it forward is Wells. He was the goal scorer. And then offside as the Steelers land a big hit on Davis.
Nice stand up here by Arson. Excellent open ice hit, as you'll see coming in here. Good turn on the shoulder and drives it into the boards. Guildford a little bit lucky there as Westerling goes down into the corner and gets spun around. You know, the official was quite happy to try and pick an interference call out from nearly 200 feet away, but misses a holding penalty in my eyes. When you spin a guy around like that on a forecheck, that's a holding penalty every minute of the day.
Jadlowski hammers it around. Walker gets a touch. So does Campbell. Jadlowski again with the shot. Mustakovs with a big pad save. The rebound gets the Steelers moving forward. Well, that pass isn't as accurate as it needed to be. Well, the whistle brings things to a stop. face-off in the offensive zone for the Flames, leading by a 1-0. False start on the draw. Westerling is kicked. So it'll be Neely up against Ferguson this time. The puck comes back for the Flames, trying to double their advantage. Moving centrally, and the puck is intercepted by the Steelers. Fretter doesn't have a lot of room, tries to play it forward. It was partially intercepted by Akerud. The Flames dealt with that potential break very calmly. And now here's Dunbar, always on high alert whenever he's in possession. Moving across for the one-timer, and well gloved by Mustakovs, because Reddick made good contact.
Nice save there by Mustakovs. He gets a good track across the ice here. You'll see him tracking it across, and the defense in front do just a good enough job as well. They look like they're going to go for a block here. They get out of the way in time, but nobody coming through. You'll see him get out of the way and give Mustakovs plenty of time, and he's there well in advance with the glove.
Reddick against Armstrong. Armstrong plays it back. He needs help from his teammates here. Dunbar pushed up high. The Steelers will get this one out, trying to get themselves back on level terms, and the drop pass just crossed the blue line. There's a little frustration for the Steelers. So face-off in neutral ice following the offside call. Another win for the Flames. Steelers trying to put London under pressure. Collision between David Phillips and Lidhammer. As the puck slid past both of them. London moving it across. Craig through traffic, and Mustakovs got his blocker up. There were bodies right in his eye line, and he did well to see it. O'Connor spins and plays the backhand out. Icing is waved off. Both teams take the opportunity to change personnel. Mashinsky intercepted. The Flames have turned the puck over a lot tonight, and the Steelers haven't been able to make the most of it. A lot of times the Flames have been leaving their own zone and lost out in neutral ice. Haven't been costly yet. Now the chase is on, and Wells is going to win it ahead of Matheson. Going to need a little bit of help over there on that side, and it doesn't arrive in time. Steelers nearly leave the puck behind, recover the situation, and once more they go offside. It's not quite clicking. The chemistry just not there at the moment for the Steelers.
Well, Guildford's doing a good job. They're standing up at the blue line, and Sheffield's having to go sort of left or right. You know, that couple of feet just outside the blue line. So, you know, it's a great trick from the old defenseman, which you try to stand up with your feet on the blue line and you stick just over to make the guy go left or right, because most of the time it's too hard for a driving winger to stand up or go sideways as well, and you put the other team offside.
Steelers dump the puck in and try and put the pressure on Akerud. Get into the boards by Westerling. And then they leave the puck behind Guildford. Oh, it's played out and intercepted by Akerud just in front of Fretter. And he's going to bring his team into the zone. Avoids the hip check. It's still Akerud. Feeds the pass to Jadlowski, who reaches it on the stretch. Behind the goal with Ferguson. Trying to get away from Francilla. Puck comes back out. Akerud can take his time. He sends it towards goal. Mustakovs is out of the crease. He dives to get back. Somehow he smothered it, and the Steelers are delighted to hear that whistle, because it was very nearly two for Guildford.
That's a great recovery there. We'll see it, I'm sure, on the power play here. It just dribbles through, and you can see Francilla loses his man behind the net. Quicker to react as a Guildford player, and the backhand comes through, but Mustakovs does a great job right there, getting his paddle down, and then he's scrambling trying to find the puck. Campbell's in there as well, digging away. You can see him all digging at the puck there, and finally Francilla comes in and says, hey, enough's enough, and clears his Guildford player out of there. But good tenacity there from Guildford, and a good job by Mustakovs to get back to keep this game at 1.
4:45 remaining in the first period of this two-legged Predictabet playoff quarter-final. Chase is on. Can the Steelers win this one? They can. Really good skating by Yantin to avoid an icing call against the Steelers. Another pass that doesn't get far away, and now Armstrong can move it inside. Oh, it was well broken up. The play from Lidhammer was just strong enough to knock David Phillips off the puck, and now Dunbar's pulling moves. He left the puck behind. The Steelers don't get it fully clear. We've got a penalty coming in here, and it's going to go against the Steelers. Stewart heads off for the extra skater. It's Walker who comes out. And the last time there was a delayed penalty against the Steelers, the Flames scored on it. 6-on-5 again. Puck played towards traffic, and Armstrong is able to block with his skates and then gain control. And now the referees can tell us what they've seen.
It looks like it's going to be a high sticking penalty, but just before that you can see Davy Phillips is not impressed at all here. He's having a little word with the other official here. Coming straight down the high slot, he gets a two-hander across the hands and the stick, which denies him the opportunity. A nice little move there, and then it's a dodgy penalty at all there, high stick. Yeah, you've got to be in control of your stick, but there's no opportunity there for O'Connor, who has to recover quickly.
False start on the face-off. 1 second has ticked off the power play. First man advantage of the night for Guildford. Their power play was just a touch over 20% across League and Cup this season. Steelers' penalty kill was the league's best. They've got work to do here. Jadlowski swings it across. Walker gets it back for another go. We saw that in the playoff final. He wasn't able to get one past Mustakovs like he did past Bounds that day.
Yeah, this one here catches Matheson way up high. You'll see it here. Comes up and catches him just up in the chest area. So Matheson very, very lucky there. He gets turned on it, but it's definitely stung him, that's for sure. And then, as you say, Mustakovs again square after reacting to that to get back on the puck and puts it in there so there's no rebound.
Face-off win by the Flames. They've been good in that capacity so far tonight. Walker moves it down low and then gets the return. Steelers trying to put pressure on. Still with Jeff Walker. Again, the option is down low. Played back out into the slot. It's intercepted and played away by Yantin. Didn't fancy skating with it. He just wanted to get distance. Steelers change penalty killers. Jonathan Phillips and Zach Fitzgerald as the forwards killing this penalty for the Steelers. As Dunbar moves it across to Reddick. D to D on the blue line. Then back near side, Reddick. Trying to be patient, Dunbar. Looking for a turn, there's no way through the traffic. The Steelers keeping the Flames to the outside at the moment. Up towards the point. Moving in, taking on the snapshot. Mustakov saves, and he had a nervous glance over his shoulder, and the puck went in, but long after the whistle had gone.
Good job there by Mustakovs again. Nice drive there through the seam from Guildford. Good puck possession. A good hard shot comes through here. Mustakovs does a great job through traffic, but he does get a hold of it there. And you can see it just sitting out in front. Referee obviously in the position that he has calls it as it gets jammed underneath the 5-hole. And goes from there.
Guildford have created more chances on their power play so far than the Steelers have on their only man advantage of the night. They went 0 for 1. Guildford still have 30 seconds. And they have another face-off win. Rundberg trying to use his size. Can't quite get his stick onto the puck. Thought about the one-timer. Guildford decide against it. Craig, and again they decide against it. They shift it once more, and it's straight into the crowd in front. It hit Lidhammer in the body, and the Steelers go down the boards, but not out. Kept in by Jesse Craig. Final few seconds are ticking out. O'Connor will be out in a moment. Here's an opportunity for Lidhammer, and he slid it wide. O'Connor back out of the box. And the Steelers will try and get a break on here. Ronberg said decides the smarter play is to move it D to D. It's Fretter who spins into the zone. Hammered by Valdix, but again it doesn't get through to Stewart. And now the Flames are countering. Ferguson moves it across. Oh, and Lidhammer just had his room taken away. Walker with the shot, and Mustakov's down. Flames are really good value for this lead right now. Kevin Phillips towards the slot, backhand shot, Mustakov saves, it loops up, it's taken another hit, and this one goes wide. The Flames are the team on top right now. The Sheffield Steelers might be glad of the intermission, even though they are 1-0 down. Can they strike late in the period? Nelson out towards Dowd, spinning and shooting, that wasn't far away. Nelson, oh, that pass was to no one in particular, and intercepted by Kevin Phillips. High off the boards, the chase is on. Puck slows up enough for there to not be any icing, but Dowd couldn't get onto it. The Flames will bring it free. O'Connor across with the hit, holding the visitors up at the blue line, and then we get an offside call with 25 seconds left in the first.
Yeah, some good opportunities there. Guildford have really benefited from the power play advantage that they've had. They've gained some good momentum out of it. You know, Sheffield, as you said, maybe a little bit on the back foot, but after power plays like that, where you get that much opportunity to get goals, Mustakov has done a good job. He's done what he had to do. He's kept them in it at one here. This is what we said. Sheffield have had a couple opportunities down here on the Guildford netminder. They have to start going in the back of the net with the pressure that they get, because Guildford are a good, solid skating team, and they're going to put as much pressure as they can on Sheffield all night long.
Time for one last opportunity, perhaps, for the Steelers. Armstrong went behind the goal. And the puck goes behind towards Armstrong. The net has come free. Brian Stewart has inadvertently nudged that off as he was looking up over his shoulder.
He was always good at inadvertently knocking the nets off wherever he's played in opposition's teams' games in the defensive zone, especially when there's been a little bit of pressure. But 3 seconds here is not the best time to have done it when the puck was going away from the goal.
3 seconds is enough time for a face-off win. And a slap shot or a snapshot towards goal. See Armstrong is positioned. If Yampton can draw it back towards him. Stewart is sort of peering around to try and get a good look at it. Yampton toss from the draw, so Wah will take it instead. Another left-handed on the face-off. Puck is tied up. Wah tried to nudge it towards goal, couldn't manage it. And what a first period this has been for Guildford. They lead 1-0 after 20 minutes of this quarter-final. The goal coming on a delayed penalty at 8:38, second of the season for Charlie Wells. The assists going to Jesse Craig and Brett Ferguson. And on the balance of play, I think that's a pretty fair scoreline.
It's a pretty good scoreline, yeah, to be fair for both teams. I mean, Sheffield have had the opportunities to put the puck in the back of the net. They didn't. Guildford did it on a man advantage on a delayed penalty. So the opportunities are there. The game is going to be exactly what the game is. It's going to be fast, it's going to be quick, it's going to be a transition game. Both teams can transition up the ice very, very quickly. And this is why you said before, one of the keys was to stay above the Guildford forwards when they break out. You get 3 guys down deep, you're going to struggle when Guildford goes flying up the ice, because they are quick to explode going the other way.
So the players have left the ice at the end of the first period. We can look back on the best of the action from the first 20 minutes. There's the first real chance for Guildford as the puck was played backdoor and Rashinsky was just running out of room. He sent it back towards the crease, and Mustakov's had to make the stop. They've found it a little bit easier to get the puck through to the netminder than the Steelers have.
They have done here, and you'll see this is the 6-on-5 coming up. Some good opportunities here, but Sheffield don't get the chance to get the puck out. Of an errant pass there, and then you can see the good play here. They walk it across, Good little wrist shot through. Mustakov still doesn't know where it is, never saw it at all, and the deflection was magnificent as it goes back towards the shoulder and in the net.
Steelers players calling for a high stick. What's your view on this one?
Now it's below obviously it's like anything. The crossbar is the level that you're looking for, and we'll see it here. My opinion is it's a good goal right there. You can see it. It's down below the crossbar there. Mustakov's is down. It's well below his shoulders, so we'll see it here on the slow motion.
Yeah, this is probably the best look at it we have for you.
You'll see it coming up here. It's well below the player's shoulders there as well. So he's not the tallest of guys, not over the shoulders with his shoulders, but Sheffield do have some opportunities to score goals. Armstrong does a good turn here, and Matthew Waugh gets around there. Maybe just needed that extra inch on his stick, or just did a little bit of the harder C's to get a little closer to the net to get wrapped around quicker, but it doesn't go in.
Here was another look. Goal for Guildford.
This is the one that gets blocked out, and Mustakov does a great job to react here as an open net's there.
Francilla's stick, or was it Mustakov's?
Well, either way, you know, they get in the way enough, and then Mustakov's is battling here to try and get it. It's jammed up against the poster. You could just see it before we went away as the players are jamming away at it. So some good opportunities both ways. Guildford may be a little bit fortunate on their goal that they was obviously a 6-on-5. They had some good puck movement. I like the way Guildford's defensemen move in and around. You don't always get a good beat on the guys. They're in and out all the time. So it's tough for your defensive forwards to try and keep them in eyesight.
We're going to take a short break now on Steelers TV Live. We'll be back with you in just over 10 minutes time for the second period of this game. At the end of the first 20 minutes, the Flames lead by a goal. Welcome back to Steelers TV Live. I wonder what that man has had to say during the intermission. Paul Thompson's team just taking to the ice. No sign of Guildford just yet. They're the team in the lead by 1 goal. Scored, big deflection in by Charles Wells. His second of the season. They have the 1-goal lead after 20 minutes. Remember, this is period 1 of 6. It's an aggregate score that will decide who goes through to the Final Four next weekend in Nottingham. The only other playoff game taking place tonight is in Fife between the Flyers and the Manchester Storm. And the latest we have for you from that game is that Manchester lead by 1-0. We're trying to get the scorer of that for you. We're struggling a little bit with our phone signal here inside the Fly DSA Arena at the moment, so not able to do any of your tweets and shout-outs, and we're a little bit slower than we would like to get you the score updates as well. Well, the Steelers are all back out there. Flames are keeping the Steelers waiting at the moment. It will be 5-on-5 when we get back underway. Let's have a quick run through the stat count then from the first period. The Steelers scored no goals on 4 shots. The Flames scored 1 on 12. Both teams took 2 penalty minutes and were 0 for 1 on the power play. Has reached the end of the first period in Fife. Flyers 0, Storm 1. So both of the road teams in front by 1 goal here in the Predictor-Bet playoffs. Still no sign of the visitors, and it is a long intermission here. There's plenty of time, and we can see a few of them. There we go. There's Brian. Doesn't have many teammates with him at the moment. We can see a few more coming to join. Don't know if the Steelers are cheekily asking for a delay of game penalty, but I bet some of them are.
They may get it. The buzzer does go and they're not on the ice. You go by the technical rules, it is a delay of game penalty because they're not out before the start of the clock finishes. But I don't think it'll happen as playoffs, is it?
It would be a ticky-tacky call to make, wouldn't it?
It would be.
But then rules are rules. But you'd rather that the games weren't decided by officiating calls like that.
Well, you hope that the officials stay out of it and they let the guys play and they call the garbage and not be cheap about some of the penalties that they do call. you know, it was, I was watching a LA Anaheim game yesterday, and the referees didn't decide the game. Some of the stuff that was going on there, they called what they needed to call, but because it had so much importance to the playoffs, they allowed the guys to go out there and play the game with such intensity that the game ends up going into overtime. And that's how it should be. Play the game. If it's cheap stuff, call it. If it's not, let the guys play and let them decide the game.
So the highlights of that game this morning, terrific overtime period.
It was fantastic, end-to-end. Yeah, obviously you watched it as well, yeah. And the amount of 2-on-1s and up and down the ice. And this is a long time here that we're waiting now. We're getting into sort of 3 minutes after the fact, and there should be a warning be given out to Paul Dixon's side. But yeah, 3-on-3 overtime up and down the ice was fantastic to watch.
Well, it looks as though finally we're going to get ready for some hockey. Once the Flames decide which 5 they want out on the ice. They've got 6 there at the moment. Final one makes his way off. We are now just about ready. An extended first intermission. Still we wait while Brian Stewart gets himself sorted. He's got to pick up his stick from the top of his net. That's what we're waiting for just off screen. Mike Hicks doesn't look too impressed. I'll tell you what this has done. This has really fired the crowd up. They've had plenty of time to get back into their seats. And the puck drops. We are underway in the second period. Jonathan Fernley and Ron Shudra here with you on Steelers TV Live. Flames play this one forward. No icing whistle. Phillips plays it out of the zone. Turned back over to the Flames. Campbell. Steelers crowd trying to get behind their team in the early stages of this period. They know the importance of getting level in this game. Sent through to Brian Stewart. He makes the save and nothing comes free, and the pushing and shoving with Nelson and Akron.
Good job there by Sheffield's line here starting this period. A couple of good opportunities there for Levi Nelson. Doughty missed him with the first time as it went through. Same play comes back. Nelson gets a little deflection there, maybe just a little bit too close to the netminder to trouble it too much, but good job in there getting that opportunity to get a stick on the puck.
Another face-off won by the Flames. That's been a feature of this game so far. Face-off percentages definitely in the visitors' favour. We're into the offensive zone with Craig. Pulled across towards Reddick. Mustakovs makes the save. And Westling got his stick to the rebound first. Lidhammer plays it across. Bounced off the end boards and Rundberg can feed it forward. It'll go straight back to Jesse Craig. Another player who piled up the points from a defensive position. Mentioned that O'Connor and Matheson were the Steelers' top 2 in that regard. Jesse Craig himself had put up 71 points on the season. Mustakovs with the save on the short side shot. That's good from Matheson to Neely. Westerling's the option to the right. That's where he chooses to go. Jonas Westerling across in towards Francilla, and you just see him kind of pulling out of that. He realized he was skating into a tight spot. Steelers were on a delayed offside for a few moments. Arson. Francilla. Then he left it behind for a moment. Good pass across towards Armstrong. He's trying to barrel his way through, and the Flames say no. Arson steps up, chops it across. Yamtin. There's Francilla. Matthew Waugh. Going to chase this one to the corner. Back to it first is Kevin Phillips. The Steelers have got a couple in behind the end line, trying to win this one against the wall. It's Waugh. Armstrong, sorry, Yamtin trying to fight his way through. The Steelers crowd want to call. Craig's trying to freeze that one in there. Steelers trying to get it free. You can see the puck. So the referees let it go on. Waugh takes a tumble and again looks forlornly for a call that doesn't come. Flames forward with speed. Mustakovs makes the save as Davis sent it in from a narrow angle. Good shove from David Phillips, sending Wells down to the ice. And And Davis away from the wall. Flames keep it in the zone. They can wind up, they can shoot. Oh, and a little touch. Just takes it beyond the post. Ferguson. Nelson gets his stick to it and breaks the play up well. Ferguson has it back for another go. Bounces away from Campbell. O'Connor. Nelson. Trying to get it back towards Valdix. Oh, it was just wide short side. And then he goes back behind the goal, and first to it will be the men in white. They don't get it out of the zone first time, they do second time around. Matheson, long pass forward. Inside to Dowd. Nelson trails, Dowd around the outside with the backhand. And he draws the save and the hold from Stewart. And he'll get the Steelers an offensive zone restart.
Yeah, that's what you wanted. A good surge there from Levi Nelson just before this gives Valdix a good opportunity here. A long stretch pass from Sheffield zone. This gives Dowd an opportunity on the backhand. Good work by Guildford keeping the guys to the outside here. But again, good job by Sheffield getting to the net there. You can see two guys crashing, making sure if there's any sort of rebound whatsoever, they're going to be in there and pounce on it.
Dowd retrieves. Matheson back towards Nelson. It gets past him. Lundin around the near side boards. Ronberg kept his man away from the puck and ensures the Steelers retain possession. They've had to go back to do so. Matheson. And all his passing lanes taken away. The Steelers get back to lift the stick, but he can't keep it away from Dunbar. He drops it off. Craig. Moves it down low. Lidhammer tries to get it in. Oh, and Reddick nearly got the rebound off Mustakovs. That's not a good pass from Nelson towards Matheson. The crowd groans in frustration. Davis. Straight into the legs of Matheson. Westling goes backwards. And Matheson checks out his options. Doesn't see anyone down the left wing. Still he holds. Eventually gets it through to Fretter. His shot is blocked away off Phillips, and then he feels like he was tripped. There's no call. Then the long slap shot came in from Francilla, and Stewart reached out with the left leg and kicked it free. And then we have another stoppage in play. And there's frustration coming in here.
Yeah, there's going to be. You know, you look at some of the calls that they were going to call. Like I said in the first period, a back referee calls one from nearly 180 feet away on an interference we had no business calling. And yet another one there, Colton Fretter, you can see the stick tied up in between the 2 feet as he tries to go up and around the player. Again, it's an interference. And then another one was a netminder getting a little bit of a butt end into Westerling's face as well as he comes out of the end zone. So we don't want them to decide it, but they've got to start clamping down on some of the little niggly stuff.
Neely. Fretter can't get any further than the red line. It's all very scrappy at the moment. Steelers skate on with Westerling. He's looking for a pass inside. He couldn't find one, so he took the shot on. It was a fairly comfortable save from Stewart. The angle wasn't great for a shot. Francilla towards the crease. There's players eyeing everywhere. It's a real mess. Comes out to Fretter. Under all sorts of pressure. Pass to Francilla. Shooting through, doesn't get the deflection it needed. Flames have got a spare man over here. They've got a chance. Oh, and recovering just in time. Getting his stick back was Francilla, the only defenseman available on the play, getting across to deny Campbell, who'd found himself all alone on that left wing side. And a free skate in on Mustakovs. Flames centre it to the trailing player. Mustakovs makes the save. Shudra gets his stick to it to partially clear it. Big slap shot, and Mustakovs reaches up, and the crowd say moves. But it's been a good couple of moments for the Flames. They're starting to look dangerous again.
Yeah, some good opportunities there, but you look at Jadlowski was the one that was getting all sort of flustered down in the other end, and this is what we're saying. The referees are allowing some niggly things to go. And frustrations are going to crop up here and there as Mustakovs reach up and get that little bit of a flutter ball. But a good opportunity from both ends to score goals, to stretch this lead, whether it was 1-1 or 2-1.
Yamantin kicked from the face-off. It'll be 51 against 15. Floated through traffic. Misses everything, goes to the end boards, and Armstrong sees his pass out deflected away from its target. Dunbar. Nice pass inside. Floats across now to the far side. Shot through traffic. Oh, and the Steelers didn't know where it was, and first to react was David Phillips. Mustakovs was peering one way, then the other. Steelers skate through. There's the shot. There's the save from Stewart. Armstrong it was who got a clear side of goal. Stewart's been impressive so far in this one.
Yeah, Matthew Waugh does a ton of work there, and it's actually the Guildford Flames player that gives it back to Matthew Waugh, and Armstrong does what he can to get on that very, very difficult shot there to get away. Kind of handcuffs him a little bit, but Matthew Waugh does a good job up the middle of the ice to be tenacious and get a hold of that puck and just feed it out wide, but Stewart was there to make the save.
Matheson works it to Dowd. He left it behind. Matheson will calmly move it to Rundberg, quickly across. The Steelers' puck movement is a little sharper so far on this shift. And around from Valdix to Dowd. Nelson's calling for it. Steelers can't get it to him. Davis sees his pass partially intercepted. Rundberg and Matheson have been a pairing pretty much throughout the season whenever Rundberg has been available. Flames into the offensive zone. Sent towards goal and blocked away. And now the counter. Nelson turned towards trouble. Move stopped in its tracks. Dowd's got to be careful. Pass across looking for Rundberg. Davis skates across and finishes his hit on Valdix. Nelson down the boards. Dowd will go chasing after Yadlovsky. Campbell up the boards, doesn't get past Jonas Vesterling. Back out for Arson. Shot through and it got onto goal. And Stewart holds it tight.
Good job there getting it through to the net there. As you can see the pressure Sheffield did on the forecheck. Dowd and Westerling doing a good job. Comes back to Arson, gets it away really quick, which is what I like. Doesn't give the defensive forward a chance to get in the way. Good work in front of it by Neely as well. Just a little unfortunate, doesn't get a piece of that. It would have been nice to see that deflection from that sort of 10 feet out. It might have given Stewart a little bit more trouble than that.
Stewart has a 5-5 record for the Flames this season across 11 appearances. Arson with the shot. Oh, and a little touch in front, and Stewart was across, and then he dives forward and covers up.
Again, that's just what you want to see. You want to see any sort of turnovers or any sort of giveaways pounded back at the net. This is what I was saying in the first period. Get the shots through and get guys crashing in front of Stewart. Stewart does not like anywhere in traffic. He loves to be way out of his paint, and he loves to be athletic, let's say, and like a cat and dive around. But you keep him inside that blue paint where he has to look around. He's not a happy camper. So get in there, get the shots through, and crash hard like you can.
Neely working hard to make sure the face-off comes back the Steelers' way. Shot from Francilla, another shot from Neely. It was blocked by the crowd in front. Neely physical up against Yadlovsky. The Flames will skate it free. Pass is broken up in neutral ice and then finds its way back to Arson. Better spell for the Steelers. Fretter couldn't do quite what he was intending. And then the Flames are offside and the Steelers catch a little break. Otherwise, the visitors were in on goal.
I like what Guildford do. You watch it, the Guildford defensemen, they really like closing the gap quickly. Any sort of pass that Sheffield give up to their wingers, it's like the Guildford defensemen are told to read the play and make sure you get up in their faces. You saw it a little bit before there. Levi had to get it down in deep. Sheffield had an opportunity a couple of shifts ago, Matheson to step up, when you had two Sheffield players cutting off a Guildford guy, and he doesn't. He backs in, and they get a good opportunity out of it. So Sheffield got to hold that blue line as well to try to create something and not give such a free rein here to Guildford's forwards to get in the zone.
Yamteen forward, looking for Dowd. Armstrong's there also. Flames happy for this one to be tied up against the wall. The Steelers want to try and get it out. They might do now through Yamteen. Leaps up. Stewart reaches forward, can't grab hold of it. O'Connor with the one-time shot. And again, Stewart reaches across and makes the stop. Another tangle in the corner. Steelers try and jam it free. And this one is not going to come free. In fact, it's going to be whistled dead for a hand pass.
A hand pass and two players down on their bellies. Couldn't seem to get untangled to get up, but again, some good pressure last couple of shifts for Sheffield. Some good offensive forechecking, which gives them that ability to get stuff to the net. Ben O'Connor gets one through as well. So this is what you've got to do with Guildford. Guildford look like when the play goes around the net, they send their top forwards straight out to the defenseman, so it doesn't give your forwards an option. But when they don't get there, that's what's happened with Arson. He gets a shot away. That's what happened with O'Connor right there, and it gives that opportunity to get it through to the net.
Steelers out with their fourth line. Guildford just have 9 forwards available to them tonight. No Crow, no Waters, no Stewart, of course. Liam Stewart, that is. Flames back into the zone, looking menacing, and the shot on Mustakovs, who was out beyond his crease.
Good job there, Mustakovs. A little bit of miscommunication on the blue line, overskating the puck there, but Guildford are quick to react. Davy Phillips just gets turned the wrong way on 2-on-2. Good to see O'Connor get up and in there and give the opportunity to get that block away. But again, on this side of the ice, just before that, just my opinion there, O'Connor needs to step up at the blue line and cut that play off. When you've got guys that are getting a little bit tangled up near the blue line, instead of backing off, get your gap a little bit closer than that. O'Connor's a great skater. There's no reason why he can't stand up on the blue line and turn around or get going backwards at any speed, at any forward in this league.
Flames gain the red line and then send the puck in deep. Campbell chases after it. Fitzgerald almost there to it first. Miscontrolled with the skate by Akerud. And then not a good pass across. That'll allow Fitzgerald to come forward. He loses his balance. Valdix takes over. Sent towards goal. There are a lot of bodies in front of Stewart. It never made it that far through. Fitzgerald turns and shoots, and reaching up with the blocker was Brian Stewart. Again, Valdix is first to it. He's going to need a little bit of help over there. Now it arrives. Board battles have been a real feature of this game. Seen a lot of play like this one. The puck is still clearly visible underneath Jonathan Phillips' skate. Comes back out towards Fitzgerald, then across to Francilla. Into traffic. It's bouncing around and it's settled down by Guildford, and they're looking for the long pass down ice to Campbell. They can't find it. Instead they get it to Walker, and Arson intercepts the feed. There's still an opportunity, and Mustakovs makes the save. And Arson plays it calmly away to Dowd, and he's got Westerling streaking up inside. That's where he tries to go, and we've got a penalty coming in here against Guildford. Mustakovs will go for the extra skater. David Phillips sees his shot blocked. Follow-up shot from Dowd, and that one ends up just wide, but we're going to get an interference penalty, I believe that was, coming in against Guildford, and it's Craig who heads to the box.
Yeah, good little play by Robbie Dowd there. You'll just see it hopefully here if we get a replay. If he just puts it in behind the two defensemen as a cross, and Westerling drives around the outside. You'll see it coming up here. He ends up being a good player. Westerling with a lot of speed puts it in behind, and there's an interference. You're getting in the lane, and you're not allowing a player to go around to an open puck behind you. It's a tough call to make, but nowadays you put it in behind. You can't change lanes and you can't hold players up, or you get those interference calls.
So 2 minutes for interference. The Steelers' second power play opportunity of the night. Possession is with the Flames. Shot is over the top of Mustakov's net. O'Connor with the giveaway. Ben Davis with the backhand shot that Mustakov saved. Nearly a disastrous turnover for the Steelers. And the Flames penalty killers now tying it up in the corner. Fretta gets it free. He's looking for a pass. He finds O'Connor. Tried to pull a move. It was fancy and it didn't quite come off. Steelers looking to hit the jackpot. It hasn't been that sort of night so far for the Steelers. They haven't found a way past Brian Stewart. But they've got a power play here and they've got Neely in possession. Around for O'Connor. Back around, the Flames will get to this first and Freda can't get across in time. And now the pressure comes in on Mustakov, so he'll have to sweep this on its way. It's a little bit short. Dunbar nearly got onto it. And in the end, it was good work from O'Connor. This has not been a happy minute of power play for the Steelers. Can Nelson do something about it? He can't. Again, he tried to do the same sort of dipsy-doodle that O'Connor tried and couldn't make stick. Good use of the stick from Francilla. Keep Rashinsky away from goal. Backdoor play, here's a chance. Puck is sitting in the crease and it's cleared away by Guildford, and now they can break away. Opportunity, the Steelers are desperately trying to get back, and they do so, and it's Lidhammer who just runs out of room in the end and then loses his balance. Drama at both ends on this power play. And then the Steelers go offside, and there's real frustration again for the Steelers.
Yeah, you see how much Stewart wants to come out. We were saying how athletic he wants to be. You watch him come out here and charge across the crease. He puts himself 15 feet outside the net. Look where he is. He has got no ability at all to scramble back if that goes anywhere near. And then as I was saying, too cute on the blue lines. Matheson there goes, instead of just going straight, chip it to himself and go around, he puts everybody offside by trying to go sideways. Guildford, great job standing up. Something that we haven't done yet again, and it turns it over and it's another offside.
Final 10 seconds of Steelers power play. It's another face-off win for Guildford. And Akerud gains the red line and sends it in deep. Penalty is now over. We're back to 5-on-5. Steelers drop to 0 for 2 on power plays tonight. Jonathan Phillips carried it a long way. Arson tried to give it back to Phillips. In the end, he'll collect it himself. Backhands through the crowd. It'll come out the other side. Guildford will play it into neutral ice. Fitzgerald can't get it beyond the Guildford bodies, and they break into the offensive zone, but then a stumble, and then the Steelers will get a tripping call here. Just lost an edge. Not sure which Guildford player it was, but after falling down, he then reached out and was guilty of the trip. You can see it there in on Francilla.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate there. Just it does do the reach out thing. A couple of 100 feet away from your own net. Sheffield here have to be more towards the net. They've got to get the puck over the blue line. You cannot keep turning it over at the blue line. You've got to get it in. You've got to get 2 or 3 guys chasing. You know, it's not all fun and games to try and carry it over the blue line. Guildford are very aggressive at their blue line. So the good thing is what they do is if the defenseman stands up, they've got a forward busting his backside back through the middle of the ice who goes back for the puck. So Sheffield have to be smart. They've got to chip to places that where they've got 1 or 2 players going to retrieve it.
Third power play of the night for the Steelers. Guildford's penalty kill this season in all competitions just a touch below 80, in league play just a touch above. And another offside. You can see what Eric Neely thinks of it. You can hear what the crowd thought of it as well.
You don't want to see my reactions of what I thought about it, do you? Because yet again, they try to go across instead of rim the puck around or get it in behind the net to a soft area where guys are chasing. You can't make moves 1.5 feet outside the blue line and expect your wingers to stay onside. This doesn't happen.
Steelers are leaving Westerling lurking over on the left wing. They've got to win the draw cleanly. Didn't find the only defenseman, O'Connor, and he has to go back behind his own end line to get in. Then his pass is intercepted by Dunbar. Freta got his stick on it to prevent a follow-up scoring chance reaching Ferguson. And now it's Westerling given a shove by Craig. Round for Neely. His pass is broken up. Steelers will keep it in the zone, but Guildford are hustling to the puck. O'Connor gets his shot away, and again it doesn't get through. Westerling Fretta waits on the blue line. Pulls it back for Waugh. Kick save. Follow-up chance for Neely. And that one is saved underneath Brian Stewart.
Yeah, good job. There's some good puck movement there. They finally get it in the end zone, and Westling does a good pass. Matthew Waugh just slips out into that position, gets a good hard shot away. Stewart has going. He's actually going left, throws right out. It's a little unfortunate there that Neely couldn't get it away. And then right here, he can't quite get it up high enough to get it in the top of the net with Stewart prone on the ice.
Steelers still have just about another minute of man advantage, 5-on-4. Love to win a clean face-off, but they don't. Akerud nudges it across, but it's intercepted by Armstrong. And the Steelers will set up in the offensive zone, trying to get this playoff quarterfinal tied up. Long shot through from Matheson is comfortable for Stewart. "45 more seconds on the power play." The Steelers are keeping the same unit out there. Steelers delighted to have John Armstrong back. He scored 6 power play goals during the first half of the season. Wonder if he might get the equalizer here. Matheson. Armstrong. The pass was a little bit short. He collects it himself. That's how short it was. Valdix. Down low, they're trying to bring it out front. They're trying to jam it past Stewart. There's a follow-up shot that's been blocked by a crowd, and Guildford need to get this one away through Akerud. He lifts it high, but he doesn't get it beyond Dowd, who is hit awkwardly on this one. Oh, broken stick. That could be disastrous. Oh, and it's not just working out for the Steelers right now. There's a shot through, and it's gloved by Stewart to deny Matheson again. And the Steelers can't believe that that broken stick wasn't more costly.
Yeah, some good opportunities here for Sheffield to get the puck through. And they finally do. They get one here, and Stewart gets a good glove on it to knock everything down. You can see Steelers going to the net there, but the opportunities were excellent for them to get that chance on goal.
It was Jadlowski who took the swing and broke his stick in trying to get that clearance away. Francilla. Power play is over. Back to 5-on-5 hockey. And here come Guildford. Back to even strength. Sent in from deep. Francilla first back to it. He leaves it for Arson. Yamteam. Fitzgerald. Backhanded towards goal. Oh, Stewart fumbled it, and the follow-up attempt, and Stewart still out of his crease with the play alive behind the goal. It'll be tied up well by Guildford, buying the netminder enough time, and now Guildford will get into the zone on the left wing side. Looking for a shooting lane. Mustakov saw it and was able to comfortably steer it to the corner. Fitzgerald off the glass and down the ice. Steelers want to make a couple of changes. They'll be able to make one as Guildford come back in. Played back out. Here's a big chance. Mustakov's with the save to deny Walker, who spins and sends another one goalwards. It's now with Reddick. He's running out of angle. Back to the blue line. Another broken stick. And Fitzgerald gets it across. Trying to exchange passes with Fretta, but the Steelers are on a delayed offside here, and they've all got to clear the zone. 2 broken sticks within the space of a minute for Guildford. Steelers not able to take advantage of either situation. That's loose from Fretta. O'Connor steps up and intercepts, but couldn't keep it on his stick either. And then we have yet another offside call.
Yeah, the offside call there is because the Guildford player doesn't get off the ice quick enough. Obviously the door is inside the blue line. He doesn't pay attention and sees that his own player is coming and attacking, but some good job here. Yampton just about getting on it. I'm sure Stewart wants to have that one back, but you saw what kind of play it was going towards him. A bit of a bobbly, bouncy thing that no goalie likes. And you get guys driving the net. What frustrated me there a little bit, the lines got a little bit messed up, and Paul Thompson didn't have somebody ready to go as 2 Sheffield players went to the bench. And Sheffield was actually 5-on-4 for about 5 or 6 seconds with an attack coming from Guildford.
Armstrong's carried it a long way and then fed it right through everything. O'Connor, time to wind and fire, takes a deflection, oh, and it was sitting at the side of the goal. Follow up from Armstrong, that one's gone behind the net. Wa's trying to dig it out, Stewart's trying to free it, and then he takes an acrobatic tumble, and there's going to be a penalty called here. The Steelers think there's some theatrics going on, but Stewart is still lying in the crease.
I thought, if you will, let's have a little look at it here, because there's a hook right there on Matthew Waugh, and here comes a stick right across there, which is a Guildford's own player that does it. And yet again, the referees are duped from another one. We can see it. I could see it from plain as day from way up here, and I'm by the White House, and I knew that it was a Guildford guy that got the stick on him. So we'll see if the back referee actually pays attention and says, hold on, we'll see what the penalty is.
Well, the officials have come down to the Steelers' end of the ice to prepare for a face-off.
Yeah, the referees were fooled big time on that one. They've called an interference penalty. And again, you don't want them to give things up, but like I said, I'm up here by the White House, and I knew it was a Guildford's defenseman's stick that went across Stewart's chest, and that's the interference penalty that they've called once they missed the Matthew Waugh hook. So big chance here for Guildford to stretch their lead on a play that was total bungled by the referees.
Yampton doesn't look impressed. The Steelers crowd aren't impressed. But
I'm
what an
not impressed
opportunity
either,
here for Guildford. It's been a scoreless second period so far. This is the Flames' first power play opportunity of the middle period. They could double their lead here in this playoff quarter-final first leg. Penalty will carry into the third period if they don't. Shot through, oh, Mustakov's just got a little piece of it. That was enough to take it over the top. Romberg, physical against Lidhammer, needs a little bit of support. Reddick, back to the blue line. Back towards Reddick. Craig thought about the shot. Backdoor play, oh, and it was snapped just off target. It's landed on the back of the net, and it's whistled dead by the officials before Dunbar could free it.
Good job by Mustakov. He fought that one off just before that with the way he got across with his glove. But here, just unfortunate, Guildford player can't one-time that. And then a bad bounce off a stanchion. This is what I was saying when we were saying about the lead if it went down into Guildford or anywhere. Any sort of bad bounce or any sort of wraparound opportunity, it bounces off anything, and it gives the opportunity for that puck to go in the back of the net. So no matter what the score is, as you say, in the first leg, there's always a second leg to come back to if you don't let it get stretched too far.
O'Connor just let the puck slide off his stick, and he missed the chance to clear it first time. Walker is persistent, he's got it on his backhand. Mustakov's used his paddle to good effect. Possession still with the Flames. Ferguson, Mustakov's got a glove on it. Not sure how much of it he saw, but he got enough leather on it to tip it around the post, and now Armstrong is going after Stewart. Flames back into the offensive zone. Final 30 seconds of the period. Phillips blocks that with his body. O'Connor didn't get it clear. Oh, he did, just far enough for an offside. Guildford aren't happy.
And the frustration starting to tell for everybody. You know, it's that sort of intense game. As Walker is the one there that bangs the stick up against the glass. Not too happy with the call, but this is what playoff action's all about. The emotions have to stay in check, and you have to channel it in the right direction so that you don't get those little extra niggly calls called against you.
Guildford trying to strike on the power play late in the period, but Dunbar lost an edge as he came across the blue line. 10 more seconds left in the period. Dunbar gains the zone. Drop pass. Can they get another shot in on Mustakov's? Oh, they tried to send it across, and Fretter read it well and intercepted. And the Steelers' penalty kill does their job and see their team through to the end of the second period. And the scoreline is unchanged from the first. It's still the Flames leading by 1-0.
Yeah, and it's exactly what you said you wanted out of playoff games. You want to see the excitement, you want to see the guys go up and down the ice, and you don't want to see it being spoiled by officials making dodgy calls. And you know, they got fooled on that one big time. I'm not going to harp on about it because I like to harp on, especially when they're wrong, but they also get praised when they do a good job. So the game that's been going so far, it's end-to-end, some great opportunities to score goals at both ends. Stewart, by far, I think, has been the more acrobatic, having to dive around a little bit more in that period. But Mustakov's fighting off a lot of shots that he saw late, so a good opportunity and good work from him to make sure that he keeps the score the way it is.
No goals in this period, but a few close calls. Both netminders busy at different points of this second period. Steelers, I think, will feel that they created more scoring opportunities than they did during the first 20 minutes.
You can see there Guildford doing a good job, and there's the one that I was talking about before that Freder was a little bit upset about. The stick in between the feet that doesn't get called. And a good stretch here, but a great recovery there. Francilla makes up a good 15 feet there. And this is what I said, Sheffield's defensemen have some good turn of pace, but they don't use it. Ronberg's probably the slowest guy out there, but give the guy credit, he's got a 9-foot reach. He doesn't have to be the most fleet of foot when you've got good opportunities of other players that can do it. And this is the bouncing one that Stewart wasn't comfortable at all with. And you can see what he does. He tries to get any part of the body that he can in front of it. And Yampton doing a great job going to the net. And here's the hook on Matthew Wall right there. You can see him go down, and right here you'll see the stick come through by the Guildford defenseman right there across his own netminder's chest, which Stewart milks away. And obviously where the referee is, he gets fooled by it.
And that was it for the second period. There will be a short period of power play to carry over, just 10 seconds of it into the third period. Welcome back to Steelers TV Live. Little bit of an incident as the Guildford Flames took to the ice for the third period. The Steelers were already out there, and a little bit of a collision involving Andreas Yampton and Brian Stewart.
Yeah, which was initiated by Brian Stewart. So, you know, Guildford want to come out late. You got to come through everybody, and Yampton skating through the center ice circle, and Stewart lunges towards them. And then a good coming together there. So intensity at its finest, I would suspect.
Doesn't look as though anything is going to be called on the play. Still the 10 seconds of Andreas Yampton's penalty. which was for interference on Brian Stewart. Got to get the officials with the squeegee out at the moment. Ice conditions not to Brian Stewart's liking. Still a little bit wet in front of his net, so it's going to squeegee some of that away. We'll be back underway with the third period of this game very shortly. Latest score from Kirkcaldy, still the Fife Flyers 0, Manchester Storm 1. Both road teams leading by a goal tonight. Remember, 6 p.m. tomorrow down at the Spectrum for the second leg of this game. Still not happy with the ice conditions. You can see the work that's being done.
That's just because Stewart likes to dive around like a cat. He doesn't want to be soaking wet like a swimming pool, does he?
It is quite a warm day here. Well, sorry, quite a warm evening inside the building tonight. The conditions are changeable, shall we say, here at the Fly DSA Arena. Some nights it's really chilly, some nights it's a little bit too warm. It's quite mild tonight. It's maybe just a little bit too much water put down by the Zamboni.
Just makes the netminder have to redo his crease after he just did that.
Well, we are now ready to get going. 10 seconds left of 5-on-4 advantage for Guildford. Shot count was 12 all during the second period. We're underway for the third. Steelers try and hammer it down the ice and don't manage it. And Guildford with zone time as this power play comes to an end. Shot through traffic, it bounces off O'Connor and goes wide. Yauntin is out of the box and the Steelers need to get out of their own zone. O'Connor was under pressure. That's relieved with a nice little pass behind the goal. And we are back to 5-on-5 hockey. Both teams have offers going on the power play as we're hearing news of another goal in Kirkcaldy for the Manchester Storm. They lead by 2-0. Here's Ryan Finnerty going to make his way to just his second playoff final weekend as a coach. Did it once with Braehead. He didn't do it 3 other times. He didn't do it a couple of times with Sheffield. Playoff quarterfinals have not been kind to Ryan Finnerty as a coach. Are things going to turn around with Manchester? They're 2-0 up on the road in the second period against the Fife Flyers. They're the Gardner Conference champions. The Gardner Conference champions have never made it to the Final Four. Shot in towards traffic. Stopped in front of Mustakovs and the Flames are first to it. Here's Craig. Oh, he mishandled it and had to come back across the line, and that pass is going to take his team even further backwards. Nelson first to it in neutral ice, and then a collision. The Steelers want a tripping call there, or maybe a knee, and they're not going to get anything. Dowd back towards Nelson. He doesn't look to be moving particularly well. He's going to turn and go to the bench. And Valdix couldn't find a route into the zone that he liked. That one didn't get a touch. This one's going to be whistled dead for icing. A nasty looking collision. We'll see if we can get another look at it here.
Yeah, it's stepped up and it's a hip check coming from a player from the other direction. And it is on the knee. It's a hip on knee when the puck you can see is a good 15-20 feet away. So bit of a dangerous opportunity, a bit of a play there that I would say at least a 50-50 for a penalty, if not a little bit more for an interference.
Scramble from the face-off. Long shot comes through and Mustakov saves it. It was hit hard by Mike Craig. Steelers skating it out in front of the benches. There's not a lot of room down there. The Steelers will move it into the middle where it's a little more open. Persistent from Dowd. And little bit of support up against Davis. Westerling provides it and gets a block on it with his skates. Robert Dowd. Shot got through and it hit Stewart. I'm not sure he knew too much about it. Wrestling match in front. And again, there's no penalty called. It was Neely and it was Craig. And the officials were happy to let it go. Maybe they didn't see it. All given away. Steelers are onto it. Injection of speed from Neely. Back into the crease. Oh, miscontrolled with the skate. With Matheson, who was quickly on the scene. But couldn't bring the puck under immediate control. Steelers crowd is right into this. Can the team reward them with a goal? It's well dug out of the boards by Ferguson. Fretter's trying to win this chase and he's done well. Crowd responding, he needs a little bit of help behind the net. Ferguson off the glass and out. Crowd are into it. But the Steelers still trail. Stewart reaches out and gloves it, and we'll get a face-off.
And that's the action that you want to see. A little bit of tit-for-tat happening. You can see the Guildford player there holding his face as Neely goes in and finishes his check, and then he takes a run across at him to go a little tit-for-tat. Good job by Colton Fretter, though, before that to deny Guildford an easy exit from their zone. He back checks hard, lifts the stick, and brings the puck back in to create it off that opportunity. And here you can see the retaliation sort of check coming back. Two players just playing hard and going back at it, but those are the ones that when you get emotional, things can happen, and those are the ones that you don't want to get away from you.
Still 5-on-5 hockey, 17-18 remaining in the third period. Guildford Flames still leading by that 1-0 scored by Wells after a period of pressure. Oh, there's the equalizer! It's Big John back with a bang!
Yeah, and I can't understand what Guildford were complaining about there. Two players sticking their arms up in the air and not reacting to what's going on. And John Armstrong, Johnny on the spot, picks the puck up, and this is a great wrist shot. High to the glove side. I'm not sure if it takes a little bit of a deflection off of Craig in front of the net. If we have another little angle, we'd have a little check and see, but I'm not sure if the officials are conferring about it center ice, but definitely Guildford, two players were complaining about something. I don't know what it was, but Armstrong finds the back of the net finally, and we'll see if this bit of pressure starts to build now for Sheffield on Guildford.
Big couple of shifts coming up here for Guildford. This crowd is into it. It is loud. And this playoff quarter-final is level. $19 on the season for John Armstrong. The assist going to Arson. Steelers have made a habit this season of scoring goals in quick succession. Can they take the lead on the shift after leveling things? A nice touch from London. That gets Dunbar moving forward. The Steelers have got to be careful at the other end. Turning away from goal and then dumping it into the corner. Here's Craig. Shinsky trying to stick handle inside. Arson deals with it comfortably. And here is Armstrong. Trying to carry it through himself. Steelers trying to pick up the trailing puck, can't quite manage it. And now the chase is on, and it's Wells skating with real speed, trying to take it behind the back of the net. The Steelers will try and tie him up. And down the boards towards Dowd. That's not a good touch. Sent back towards goal by Craig. Again, through traffic, that one is high. Kevin Phillips keeps it in. Guildford trying to build pressure. Perfectly poised now with just over 15 minutes remaining in this first leg. Shoots straight into the block, and then Craig is trying to hold him up, and he's taken the stick away from Robert Dowd. Nelson tries to land a hit. Flames move forward with Phillips. Blocker save made. Oh, we got a penalty coming in here, and the Steelers are furious. They're going to get done for kneeing. That's the penalty. It's going to put the Flames on a man advantage here. And Dowd, who had his stick taken from him a few moments before, went to the bench to get another one. He's then going to get done for that knee-on-knee hit.
Yeah, knee-on-knee hit there, but like you said, after blocking his shot, he gets his stick ripped out from his hands. He gets another one, it gets back into play, and a bit unfortunate, goes knee-on-knee, and yet the holding one doesn't get penalized. The hip on Levi Nelson's interference doesn't get penalized, but again, it's the back referee 180 feet away that decides to call the play, and not the referee that's closest to the action. So all depends on the angles that we have, I suppose.
So power play number 3 coming up for the Flames. They're 0 for 2 so far. 1 in the first period and 1 at the end of the second, the start of the third. They're looking to get back into the lead with Robert down in the penalty box. Trying to get it towards Lidhammer at the front. It was all a bit tight. Hacking and whacking in the corner. It comes back out to Jesse Craig. Akerud continues to wait. Now he takes on the one-timer. Mustakov saves, and it's out to Fitzgerald, and he can feed it down the ice. 3-0 now for Manchester. They are taking control of the first leg up in Fife. Reddick moving inside and outside, and then the drop pass is taken by Wah, who was back checking, and the Steelers slap shot it down the ice. And the Steelers penalty killers have done a good job at the start of this one, and a little bit of a tangle with Yampton and Akerud. Yampton feels he hasn't had the best of the calls go his way so far today. Jeff Walker got the puck caught underneath his skates. Francilla trying to free it. It's the Flames who do. Across the line, there's a little bit of room here. Mustakovs makes the save. The puck is loose, and the Flames trying to put it in from the angle. Weird bounce back out. The Steelers can't get it clear, and the Flames can't put it in. Desperation stuff from both sides. 30 seconds left on the power play. Walker, playoff hero last year for the Steelers. Sent across, put in! Go-ahead goal! And it's Ferguson. The power play counts for Guildford, and it's the away support on their feet again.
It's an actually really good play by Guildford. If you watch what they do, Walker gets the puck and Ferguson rolls around behind the back of the net and gets the return pass, but a great job by Sheffield to do everything before that. Here you'll see the pass, and then Ferguson goes around and gets lost. Walker puts it to an area where he thinks that Ferguson's going to pop out, and he wraps around and puts pretty much into the open net on the back door.
.22 on the season for Brett Ferguson. The assist going to Walker and London, and it puts Guildford back in front by 2-1. And an expensive penalty taken by Dowd. And have the Steelers got another response left in them? There's still plenty of time left in this game, and of course plenty of time left in this tie. We're in period 3 of 6. It's just deflated the crowd ever so slightly. They're still right into it. I think a lot more Steelers fans believe than they did when it was 0-1. That one's just off target from O'Connor. He got a good look at it. Steelers looking for a deflection on that shot and don't get it. Neely into a nice position. Oh, and the Steelers can't control it. It slipped away from O'Connor, and it's covered up by Stewart.
Yeah, just a bit unfortunate there that O'Connor doesn't have the room to one-time it as he's coming in, and it just rolls off the end there. You can see he doesn't have the opportunity to one-time it, and as he's trying to corral it, he can't get a hold of it. Or he may have an opportunity to get a backhand away or just pop it over to Westerling as well, but some good pressure there by Sheffield. And Guildford were struggling a little bit in their own zone at just the tail end of that shift.
Davis carries it free, sends it cross corner. And here come the Steelers. Quick transition. Can't get around the outside, and then fired in by Watt. Comfortably swallowed by Stewart, but it gets the Steelers an offensive zone face-off. Stewart just wanting an extra moment. Final sip of the drink, and we're set and ready to go again. Steelers win the draw but can't keep the puck inside the blue line. Romberg forward. Steelers have worked that well at the blue line. Shot from the angle, oh, and it was nearly put in by Yantin. Matheson with good work. Wow, strong behind the goal, gets it to Armstrong. Pressed against the wall by Walker. Steelers want a call, it's not going to come. Oh, and then a really unhelpful bobble sends Romberg chasing back. Good slap shot around. That's going to work out really nicely for Matheson. Up against Lidhammer. Matheson. Back around. Nelson plays it back out. Oh, it went right through the crease and out the other side from Valdix. Nelson. It's the Steelers' best spell. They're starting to look more and more dangerous. That shot gets blocked and it's cleared away and the chase is on. And it's waved off. Mustakov's recognised that he needed to be first to that puck, otherwise it was going to be Guildford possession. Steelers will dump and chase. Stewart leaves his crease, settles it down. Steelers first to it through Valdix. Pass back to the blue line. There's a crowd in front of Stewart. That one takes a deflection and loops over the top. Play back into the side of the goal. Steelers hoping for a favourable bounce. Valdix can't see a route through to goal. It was good use of the stick to prevent the pass across from Craig. Still with the Steelers. Shot comes through, saved by Stewart. First to it is Nelson. Steelers are swarming right now. Dowd. Power play feel, we're still 5-on-5. Dowd. Can he play that killer pass? Steelers want to make a couple of changes. They'll retain possession on the near side boards. Nelson. Tangle out front, opportunity, the Steelers can't wrap it in, it was Westerling. There is a penalty coming in though, and Westerling's been hit again. And there might be two penalties coming in here.
Yeah, the first one's going to be out in front. It's going to be a cross-check right out in front of the net. And I think you're right, there may be another one here. We'll see if this is a follow-through with a high hit to the face. Right there it is, and there it is, your second one. It's a definite roughing call. So the first one, like I said, was a cross-check in front of the net. And then a bit too aggressive coming back against Westerling. He slides his arm up and follows through with a hand to the face, which drives Westerling's head into the glass. So 10 minutes and 20 seconds left to go here, third period. Huge opportunity, Sheffield here 5-on-3 to see if they can claw one back and possibly take the lead.
So Jesse Craig and John Dunbar both in the penalty box. It's a cross check on Craig. So 5-on-3, elbowing the call on Dunbar. Akerud trying to get it round the boards, he doesn't get it out. 5-on-3, slap shot, this one won't get out either. Here we go, big opportunity for Sheffield in this quarter-final tie, a 5-on-3. Can they find a way past Brian Stewart? They don't have a power play goal in this game. They need one now. Stewart saves. Oh, and the rebound seemed to fall perfectly for Waugh, and neither he nor Westerling could put it in. Westerling snaps one on goal. Save was made by Stewart. Steelers want to get to this first. They'll pinch up from the boards with Matheson, and he's trying to hold on against Ferguson, and he's done a really good job. Westerling. Waugh. Westerling again. Shot through, save made, rebound, that's saved as well. Oh, and then there's a real scramble at the side of the goal. The puck is live and it's been not covered. We'll still play on with Westerling. Oh, and then a lovely little touch from Akerud. Takes it beyond and out of the zone. That's a crucial intervention. Crowd is alive. The Flames have still got penalty left to kill. Westerling. That shot takes a deflection wide. Westerling back to Matheson. Westerling into the crease. What a save that is by Stewart. It's still live. There's still a chance. Westerling, can he lift it in? Stewart leaps up and saves. What a game he's had tonight.
Well, you know, your netminder has to be your best penalty killer, and Stewart definitely there. deserves to go for a skate and get his win back, because I guarantee his heart rate is through the roof at the minute. But some great puck movement by Sheffield to create some opportunities. You'll see a couple of good chances to score. Just doesn't bounce far enough, and they can't get the puck up as Stewart is all over the place. And a good job by Guildford there to collapse to try to keep the puck to the outside. And without calling a timeout, this is what Guildford are doing. They're giving Stewart extra time as the referee goes over and tells him to get back into it. So 20-odd seconds left. Sheffield desperate to get one here. And now a timeout finally comes.
So they're going to get 30 seconds to chat this over. There's still 25 seconds left of the 5-on-3. But it'll feel like a big opportunity miss for the Steelers if they can't take advantage of this 5-on-3.
Yeah, give credit to Guildford there. They read the little switch play between Matheson and O'Connor a couple of times. The one time O'Connor does hammer it past the blocking forward out front, where Matthew Waugh just about gets it through, and then they try to go down low, and Westerling tries to sneak one up top as well. So a couple of different looks, and then he feeds Armstrong out front. So Sheffield have done quite a bit to see if they can try and force that second goal through with different looks and different options on the power play. But Stewart so far has been standing tall, and he's the one that's kept the game at 2-1.
8:44 remaining in the third period. No overtime tonight, remember. A tie is a tie. After 3 periods of play here, we move on to the Spectrum tomorrow. What will the scoreline be? It's 2-1 in the Flames' favour at the moment. They've only got 3 skaters out against Sheffield's 5 for the next 25 seconds. A false start on the face-off. And Armstrong will be replaced. Steelers will get to the puck behind the goal with Dowd. He'll play it back out. There's a crowd in front of Stewart. The shot is well blocked. He was accurate in the way. Slap shot. That one's not blocked. That's the equalizer. And what a ripper from Dowd.
And that's the one that you were looking for. This is a switch play that they got before. The thing about this one is it goes on the switch. Levi Nelson does an absolutely fantastic job in front. Robbie Dowd just takes it a little bit wider and goes back across, and maybe it gets a little bit of a touch there, as you can see the puck kind of knuckle a little bit as it goes past the Guildford player at the top of the crease. But good job in front of the net there by Levi Nelson to create that screen. And Stewart doesn't pick it up at all, I don't think, as it goes by him.
We were right behind that shot. There was a foot of goal available to the left of Brian Stewart, and that's where it went from Robert Dowd. 5-on-4 still for another couple of seconds. Dunbar comes back out. We're now 5-on-5. Oh, played out into the slot. Steelers will get to it. Shot through. Stewart saves, and the Steelers barrel in. Goal is confirmed as Dowd assisted Nelson and Valdix for Robert Dowd. It's 24 on the season. This game has lived up to its billing. It's had everything you'd expect from two teams who are only 2 points apart in the league standings. And we're still no closer to knowing which team, if any, will take an advantage into the second leg tomorrow night. Cleared away by Ferguson, giving Campbell something to chase, but Arson read it well. And the Steelers can keep the puck down to this right-hand end. And we'll take another look at the goal.
Yeah, we'll see if it just gets a little deflection right there. You can see the puck just bobble a little bit, but Stewart has no idea. You can see the 2 players in front of the net. And like you said, we were here, and Stewart, you know, he loves to be aggressive and dive across, and he's looking totally the wrong way, maybe looking around to the right side, and the shot comes back against the grain. Robbie Dowd gets all of it, and he puts it into the twine. And then, as you say, you know, it's a 6-period game, so the players have to remember that it's not over tonight. With 8 minutes left in it, you don't want to be the one that gives up 1 or 2 right near the end of this game.
But the Steelers will feel like they're the team on top right now. But we've seen a few times this season when the Steelers have been on top, they've left the back door open. And Guildford are just the sort of team that's built to take advantage of any sort of defensive lapse. Helped by those power plays, there's been a lot of zone time for the Steelers in this third period. Now they're behind Mustakov's goal. Lidhammer sends it around. Arson will chase it. Craig pinches in. Arson lands the shoulder. Worked away from the boards. The Steelers will flip it free, but not out of the zone. Played with a high stick by London, and he'll back away, and that'll allow the Steelers into possession. Armstrong carried it a long way. John Armstrong, what about this? Oh, Armstrong! Goal of the season!
you have to laugh at this, to be fair, because he's on fire driving through here. Guildford have him cut off there, but London goes flying, and then he's in all alone. And you watch the puck bobble, and he does just enough as Stewart goes down early to take everything away low, and Armstrong just gets enough to put it up into the top part of the net, and you can see how happy and how excited they are to get that goal. 6 minutes left here from time.
This is the 40th game we've shown you on Steelers TV this season, and we haven't seen anything like that. Definitely not.
I mean, he picks that puck up below the circles in his own end. Like I said, Guildford cut the whole ice in half for it can only go one way. He takes that lane but drives back against the seam. London blows a tire and lets Armstrong in for that opportunity, and he puts it into the back of the net.
Second of the night for Armstrong, unassisted. It takes him to 20 for the season. Shows the Steelers what they've been missing. For those 3 months he was out of the lineup. And then he lands a big hit on Kevin Phillips. And then another hit coming in from David Phillips, but it doesn't get the puck out of the zone. The Steelers are in front for the first time in this quarterfinal. And they're playing with all the confidence that you'd expect of a team at home that's winning now. And they're first to every loose puck. The Steelers will want to make the most of this momentum and the most of this last 5 and a bit minutes of home ice time. Could be a very different story tomorrow. Only Cardiff had a better home league record than Guildford did this season. The Steelers won at the Spectrum on the opening weekend, but they lost later in the season. The Steelers are looking for another, and they've got it! Played across and put in by Valdix. What a turnaround! 4-2 Sheffield.
Sheffield are just exploding here. That play all happens in the neutral zone with some nice touch pass as Freder comes fresh from the bench. Gets in behind everybody and does a great job there finding Valdix coming in a little bit late. And the cracks are finally starting to show here for Guildford. You can see right there the frustration on Walker as he slams his stick into the post. And then he actually, after that, absolutely gives it to 2 or 3 of the other Guildford guys out there. But we still got 5.5 minutes. This is what I was saying about the game. You don't want to be the team to give up 1 or 2 in the last part of this game, knowing that there's still 3 periods to come tomorrow.
But if this was a regular season game, you might think 4 goals is enough to win. We'll sit back on it. With the momentum the Steelers have right now, they've got Guildford rocking. This might be their chance to build their lead even further.
Yeah, you got to be, as you said, relentless and go after them. You can't sit back. You just have to make sure that third player is high and no odd man rushes whatsoever, but you still give chase to every puck.
Chase on for Campbell. Ronberg meets him. Then Matheson. We come out to Fretter. He picked up the assist on Valdix's goal. 16 on the season for the Swede. And it's the Bryan chance right now, intercepted by Craig. It never reached Neely. and then across for Lidhammer. Here's a chance. Mustakov's made the stop, and he's got it trapped under his arm.
That's a big save for Mustakovs as it gets stuck underneath his arm. We'll see it here. A turnover in a neutral zone. Romberg has no chance to get back into play, just at a big guy. And you see the wrist shot coming through. He does just get a piece of it there, and you can see how close that is to just about finding its way through that 9-hole.
9-hole?
Yeah, sure, 9-hole. 5-hole, 9-hole under the arms.
Not heard that one all season long on Steelers TV Live.
Well, you got to pull them out at the end, don't you?
Backdoor play. Oh, they've missed Kevin Phillips. What an opportunity as he was sneaking in on the blind side. Well, the footballing Kevin Phillips would never have passed up a chance like that. But Guildford's Kevin Phillips was alone at the back post. Maybe he was stretching, but I don't think he made perfect contact. This one was deflected in, so Stewart will come out and play it. Around the boards, it takes a strange kick off the glass. That'll help the Steelers. They'll send it back around, but the Flames have players over on this right-hand side, and it's Davis who'll skate it away. Nelson tries to lift the stick. Seen him guilty of hooks in that situation a few times this season, but he played that one smartly. And now the Steelers will lift this one across, and that has gone out of play. And the Steelers will be grateful that they were in neutral ice rather than their own defensive zone.
I was just going to say
that one went a long way in the air.
I was just going to say it's a good thing Robbie Dowd caught the blue line there, because it was one again yesterday. NHL player did exact the same, about 6 feet inside, as we'll see John Armstrong here. Guildford are in good position. They cut everything off to the outside, but right there, that's the thing that lets them in. Lundin blows a tire, and the other Guildford forward isn't back in a good enough position, and Armstrong does have to do an awful lot still to battle it into the back of the net. But he does as Stewart goes down just that little bit early, and he gets enough of it to put it in the top part of the net.
David Phillips can't keep it in the offensive zone. 3 minutes and 1 second separate the three Steelers goals in this period. Well, 3 of the 4, I should say.
And Stewart can't be faulted for any of them, to be fair.
Oh, giveaway! Neely! Oh, then wide from Dowd. He may have been too close to the goal. And when he swung his stick at it, his body position just took it wide. So nearly 5-2. Steelers' energy levels have been excellent in this third period. Neely taps it in. Again, the chase is on. Played away from Fretter, but Romberg steps up and keeps it in the zone. Fretter's going to need a little bit of support. It's wedged in here with Craig. And it's Neely who emerges with possession. Spinning, and then playing it straight to Ferguson. Then nice hands to free himself a little bit of room. On to Campbell. He has it knocked away from him. Neely checks hard into the boards, and that will be boarding.
Sheffield have to be careful here. The penalty's been called. You don't want to be getting overly aggressive here and taking anything away as they're trying to protect Eric Neely, who went face first into the boards. That's just seeing the end of it there. He gets hit a little bit awkwardly after good hard work to back check.
Doctor is out onto the ice, and Neely is still down.
Yeah, you can see he's getting up to his knees, and he's going to have a little check out there. Obviously, Doc is out there just to see, as we'll see here. Coming in a little bit late, and he's indefinite in a boarding position there, where it's not a hard penalty to call there. It's a pretty easy one to give it up, as you can see. Towel to the head, could be a 5 if there's a blood and the player doesn't return.
Fife have got a goal. It's 1-3 Flyers against Storm. So Ferguson is going to the box. We wait to see how long for. Nothing's on the arena scoreboard yet. Eric Neely is headed off to the medical room to get himself patched up, possibly stitched up. Well, the Steelers won't get the full benefit of a 5-minute penalty, other than a power play continuing if they score. There's only 2:14 left in the game.
Yeah, we'll see if it's a 2+10 here if it comes across. Yeah, and of course
call the check from behind.
They will. Then they'll review it tonight before the game, just in case they upgrade that to a 5 or anything worse, as there's an injury on the play. So with that injury occurring on the play, there is the opportunity for Docs to have a look at it and overturn it.
Automatically reviewed. There might not be a video out by tomorrow, but there will be a decision for sure. So Ferguson sits, and the Steelers have a 5-on-4 power play. They want a tripping call here, they're not going to get one. But Fretter has the puck, and the Steelers have a 4-2 advantage on the scoreboard and a 1-man advantage on the ice. Fretter, back to the blue line. Francilla, save made, and the rebound just went behind the goal. Wah got to it. Wah again, trying to bring it out. Oh, and he couldn't find the far corner. Lovely little move. Didn't quite work out. Slap shot, Stewart saves and holds, and throughout all of this, Stewart has been wonderful tonight.
Well, he has. He's been money tonight. You know, as we said, you know, that 5-on-3 power play that they had, he was the one that kept that from not getting scored on early, as this one here gets through. And he does exactly what he needs to do. He needs to get a hold of that so there's no rebound, as he got Fretter out in front. Matthew Waugh drives the net, so this is huge for Guildford. If they don't want to give one up here to go down by 3, but then Sheffield have to be careful as well that they don't over-attack and give one up shorthanded.
Steelers looking for a power play goal to extend their lead to 3. Shot was blocked by the traffic in front. Again, the Steelers are first to it. Nelson. Valdix. Trying to skate away from trouble. That's an awkward pass, and it's too far in front of Matheson. We're into the final, well, now 40 seconds. Steelers have scored some late goals this season, usually against Nottingham. What a big difference a late goal could make here. Matheson shoots it through, it's deflected in! They do have a 5th! Looked to hit something en route, whether it was a deflection or it was Stewart. The shot from Matheson has found the back of the net, and the Steelers have a 3-goal advantage.
Yeah, it does go right in there. You don't know if it goes down or not. He's looking at his defenseman. You can see him going right there. Nothing I can do about that. But you know, again, this is the thing that kills teams in the playoffs, especially over 2 legs. Giving up the late goals. You saw Sheffield do it in the Challenge Cup when they gave one up on a situation when Mustakos makes a pass up the boards. And how important was that 1 goal that they gave up? And you look at the 1 goal that they've given up here with under 30 seconds to go, which will give them a 3-goal lead, you would have thought, here going into Guildford tomorrow.
Back to 5-on-5. Final few seconds. Will there be time to get the puck out in front for another shot? Doesn't look likely. Guildford are going to keep this one in the corner, and time will expire. And Sheffield, who trailed for such a long time in this game, as the action continues after the whistle. Lots of pushing and shoving. Tempers are flaring.
Some of this is going to be retaliatory stuff for things that have gone on.
And still it goes on. Reddick is furious down there.
This is what you're getting, is you can see the guys, Dunbar that comes out. This is all what it is late in the game. Phillips and Dunbar, he's the one that's in the penalty box for a cheap shot on
David Phillips is being led away by the linesman.
And this is what
he's really unhappy.
If they get a 2-minute penalty now, they've done the thing to get Sheffield out in advance and get Guildford on their heels going into the game tomorrow night.
There's no handshakes after the first leg of a quarter-final tie. I'm fairly sure that this is standard. The crowd are booing. If I remember rightly, this is like a playoff series, you save your handshakes for the end of it. So I don't think this is a referee's decision. I genuinely think this is what would have happened, whatever the end circumstances. Yeah, if I'm wrong, of course, then I'll apologise, but I'm fairly sure that this was always to be expected.
You can see the linesman doing that right there, saying exactly that, but then Walker's then going and giving the big points to the referees and giving them absolute
And the message from Walker, I'm fairly sure, is we'll see you tomorrow.
Well, I don't know if he was saying that to Sheffield or to the referees. So, you know, at the end of the day, Sheffield did what they needed to do today, which was win the game. They got there in the end with 3 late goals to pull away, and the leg tomorrow is just going to be as eventful, and it's going to be quick and fast-paced, just like it was today.
So the Steelers win the first leg by 5 goals to 2. Steelers had 6 penalty minutes. Guildford had 22. Guildford were 1 for 4 on the power play, and Sheffield ended up 2 for 6. They scored during the 5-on-3. They scored during a late 5-on-4. And the Steelers scored 5 goals in that third period, including 4 in the space of 8 minutes and 3 seconds unanswered. Guildford led after 51 minutes. They trailed by 3 at the end of the first leg. But you've only got to look back 12 months when Nottingham led by 3 after the first leg.
Well, nothing's ever dead in the water in the game of ice hockey. You thought that there was no way that Sheffield was going to get by Stewart today the way he was playing. And then one went in, but then Sheffield, you know, you said you saw the wording relentless out before the pregame, and that's what they needed to be. And you know, it's like a shark that smells blood in the water. When you get teams that are very offensive and they got some pretty high power and some high skill players, there's a lot of them around the league. You look at Cardiff, they're relentless as well. They get 1, they want 2, they got 2, they want 3, 4, and 5. Manchester, when they play the way they can be scary as well with the offense. And Sheffield are just as dangerous when they smell the blood in the water.
In the third period, the Sheffield Steelers needed somebody to step up and make a difference. And John Armstrong levelled the tie in the 43rd minute. The game was level at 2-2 not long after. And he picked up the puck behind his own goal and skated past everyone to score the goal of the season and turn this quarter-final in the Steelers' favour. It's not job done just yet, but there's still time to celebrate a home victory in the Steelers' final home game of the season. Well, he's had 3 months to think this one up. And he's putting on the gun show.
Well, you know, like I say, you know, they have missed them all, you know, from when the injury occurred. You know, you lose guys out of the lineup for extended periods of time that can score you goals and big goals, and they can take games on their shoulders. And you know, Edinburgh was a nice little ease into it. Manchester was that intensity level that he needed to get back into to see what it was. And today was, again, that same sort of thing. You saw the ability that he has and the effort level that he gives, as well as the rest of the Sheffield Steelers that were on the ice. They were tenacious, they were attacking, they were forceful. And to be fair, Guildford did the same when they had the opportunities. You said before as well, they looked pretty good money for the leads that they had. So very, very dangerous teams. But at the end of the day, Sheffield just edged it out a little bit at the end of the game, and they took that third period by storm.
6 p.m. at the Spectrum tomorrow for the second leg of this quarter-final. Have Sheffield done the work they needed to tonight? Or have Guildford got a Sheffield-esque turnaround waiting in the second leg of the quarter-final? Thank you for joining us tonight. The goals will be on Facebook tonight, the highlights on YouTube tomorrow, and the full game download available in the next couple of days, and you can relive this all over again. And that concludes our 40th game of the season on Steelers TV. Your support via the live stream, Facebook goal packages and YouTube highlights is very much appreciated. We thank you for watching. Your thanks should go to the camera operators, editors and producers, Mick, Liz, Matt, Liam, Elliot, David, Stephen, Martin and Dave, who've made this stream possible. From Ron Shudra and myself, Jonathan Fernley, enjoy your summer and we'll see you at Ice Sheffield on August the 11th to do it all again. The final score from this playoff quarter-final first leg, Sheffield Steelers 5, Guildford Flames 2.